2018 is almost over. How the hell did we get here? January feels like it was 3 months ago, but it wasn't. It's gonna be 2019 in a second. My book's coming out in 2019. What the 2018 has been a weird year for me physically. It started out and I was kicking ass at yoga. I was going like 3 times a week and I was finally getting all these arm balances and I was so excited and I was practicing more than ever. And then I pulled my pectoral muscle, which 10 out of 10 would not recommend. And this injury snowballed into a bunch of other things that kept me off of yoga a lot this year. Like I knew yoga was really good for me, but I didn't realize how good till I was out of it for weeks at a time, and my anxiety kicked up about 50 notches. Despite all the physical, mental, anxiety, weirdness, I'm sitting here looking back on the year feeling nothing but happy. I had an amazing year. This past January, Zenith came out and I got to celebrate with Sasha and Lindsay by hosting their event at the Grove, and we had so much fun.
Wait, did you say your toothpaste?
I'm using Colgate right now.
Oh, which one? Like the Colgate white?
The one that's like the little tube one.
Blue.
That's like the travel pack.
Oh, the one in a tube.
Yeah, the tube.
I finally embraced a skincare routine. I finally was like, okay, Olivia, what product should I buy to use every night? I'm sophisticated now. I went to the first Beautiful Con in January, and maybe most excitingly, I figured out some secret to being okay at bowling. And it started in January when John and I went bowling and I beat him. You don't even understand. One time I got a 32 bowling. This year I had a breakthrough. My bowling triumph really culminated at VidCon.
Oh my gosh. Here we go, Maureen. Oh, she's going for it. Maureen, a strike!
We got to round 8 and it was my turn and I threw the last ball and I got a strike as the lights went out.
Right as she's bowling, it just goes black and she
my
lets
God.
go the ball.
Time bowling is not her
got a
game.
strike.
I got a strike and everyone saw it didn't hit any bumpers. In April, I faced one of my biggest fears since high school. I was deathly afraid of getting my wisdom teeth out and I was having intense jaw pain, so technically it needed to happen. But like, I still did it. My mom flew out and took care of me for a week, and we spent like 3 solid days just watching Gilmore Girls on my bed. In May, I went to Y'alliston again, and we had our annual Booksplosion panel. I went to Taylor Swift's Reputation tour with Kat and Natasha. As always, I had an amazing time at BEA and BookCon, and at BookCon, we had our Booksplosion panel. At the end of June, we had our 3rd annual Booksplosion cosplay bash at the Barnes & Noble Orange before VidCon. This was the first year since 2014 that VidCon did not have a BookTube panel, which was really sad, and because of that, only a few of us were there. But the few of us who were there had a great time together. Watching Mamma Mia too.
Mamma Mia.
And here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you? And it was while I was there that an interviewer from the New York Times had come out, talked to myself and Jesse and the other booktubers at VidCon. This woman had contacted me like a 1.5 years ago and we had already talked on the phone, and I thought that this was never going to happen. But then she followed up and interviewed us at VidCon, and then this article about BookTube with a lot of stuff about me in it was published and went live the day before my birthday this year, and it was just so surreal. It's still so surreal. In July, Natasha and I went to San Diego Comic-Con. Natasha was Wonder Woman this year, and I cosplayed as Jessica Jones.
Na 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 na.
After Comic-Con, we went to see Crazy Ex-Girlfriend live, and it was like the most fun I've ever had at a concert. It's the Sexy Get Ready Show. It's the Sexy Get Ready Show. Pulling and tugging. I went to San Francisco for the first time, and it was so beautiful. August, I turned 28 and had such a nice birthday. I got the first mock-up cover for Again But Better in August. Oh my god! I was randomly on the news in Canada, like a 5-minute awkward segment about BookTube.
This is very new and looks very fun. When did you first start to think about putting books and reviews online?
In 2010.
I went to Montreal for the first time. Montreal is so beautiful. It almost feels like a European city. And while I was there, I went ziplining for the first time. We also did a pole class, which was so much fun. In September, my cousin Lindsay got married in Philly. Right after that weekend, I flew back to LA, hop on another plane to fly to Seattle, where I met Natasha, and together we drove to Forks for the 2018 Forever Forks Festival. At Forks, I got to interview Catherine Hardwicke. When I entered college wanting to be a director, wanting to work in film, she was the only female director I was aware of. Catherine Hardwicke was this like beacon for women in film. Talking to her like this was just a thing that I never imagined would happen. Like, this is the woman who directed Twilight. This year was 100% full steam ahead with Again But Better pre-pub. There were so many deadlines and first and landmark moments that I will treasure for the rest of my life. Stephanie Meyer asked me and Natasha to moderate one of her very few events. We moderated her Q&A for the 10-year anniversary of the Twilight film at LA Live. I carved a pumpkin for the first time in years. I had my first ever book signing in Charleston, South Carolina at YALLFest. We had our 4th annual Booksplosion panel at YALLFest.
Thank you guys all for coming to the Booksplosion 2018 YALLFest panel.
I went to my 10-year high school reunion, and it was so weird. As soon as I got in there and saw all these people from high school, I just like clammed up and felt like the most awkward little ostrich. Feet of Air and Darkness came out, and I had so much fun reading it. And then I got an email asking if I'd like to reveal the cover of Cassandra Clare's first book in the last hour series, Chain of Gold. So I revealed the cover of Cassie's new book on my channel. And lastly, I got arcs of my book, like the real arcs with the real cover on it. I did a photo shoot with them, and I was just giddy the entire time. And then I sent out those arcs to my close friends and family. Hearing and seeing their reactions has been one of the weirdest, most heartwarming experiences of my life. I almost wish I filmed them, but I'm kind of happy they're just for me. This was the year of Infinity War, of Black Panther. Booksplosion has been reading books together with you for 5 whole years now. We're about to embark on our 6th year together. I'm so thankful and grateful that I work with such amazing people. I'm pretty sure my goals from last year were to stay on a consistent yoga schedule. That went to shit. But the other one was to have a solid outline for book 2, which I do, and I'm so excited to be jumping into consistent writing in the new year. My goals for 2019 are a finished first draft of book 2, to again be on a consistent yoga schedule for the entirety of the year. And my last goal is to cook more things. I need to vary it up, so I'm going to start experimenting with different meals. I'm always asking people what they make for dinner now, just in case I can make it and eat it. I want to try it. I hope you've had a good year. I hope it hasn't been too rough. I hope the good has outweighed the bad. If you're feeling shit about it, I highly recommend making your list of things that you did. And if there's more that you wanted to accomplish, we're about to start again. You get another chance to do it again, but better. Yes, I did the joke. Deadline is May 1st. I think I can do it. Last night at 4 a.m., I sent in my new draft. I have a release date. I have a release date. Turns out, Jane's been doing college all wrong. And romance? What's that? Oh my god. This is is so weird. Oh my god, this is so weird. This
I just
is so
ended
weird.
in my last round of like big edit.
Anyways.